What's really good, LeSBP Trading Familia? Buenos dias, bonjour, bom dia, salvona, guten abend, konbanwa, masaka, aftab. Thank you all for tuning in. This is going to be a really painful one, especially after last week having, pretty decent success. Having that one almost $700 day. I think it was like 658 or something like that. And then previous to that, having like a 500, almost $600 day. I was like, damn, we on cloud nine. Let's see what we can keep doing. And then boom, this week we ended up with a humongous loss. I won't spoil the fun. I'll let y'all hear in a second what that was. So on March 9th, we had no red folder hot news. March 10th, same thing. March 11th, we had core CPI, CPI month over month, and CPI year over year. On Thursday, we had unemployment claims. On the 13th of March, we had core PC price index, prelim GDP, and then JOLTS job openings. So we'll start off with looking at Friday going into like the Sunday open and into Monday. That way I can kind of explain what we were looking for here. So Friday didn't really give us a big drop until the Sunday open. We were actually looking for like a continuation of Thursday. I won't go back so far, but Thursday was a really decent day. That was the day we almost got the $700. And then we're looking for a continuation into Friday. And we didn't really get that. We ended up having, these break evens. And then Sunday Open happened, and then boom, that was the fall that we needed. So seeing that happen over the weekend, I was like, okay, well, it's a possibility that Monday's probably not even going to give us any trades, and even if it does, we might not need to take those. Well, we got lucky enough because Monday didn't really give us anything. We couldn't go for another continuation. We couldn't go for a new cross of the HMAs or anything like that or whatever. So I just left this day alone. Monday was a no trading day. But it did move pretty significantly from Sunday, kind of midnight, all the way up past where it was Friday, and even up to a point back in Thursday. So I was like, okay, that might actually be what we need. A really good retrace back up, and then maybe we can complete a nice push down. So moving from Monday over Monday night, there was not a lot of movement, but it, kept continuing to go up just a little bit. And then me thinking on Tuesday, okay, this might be the day where we'd be able to actually get a decent trade because of the simple fact that we had all that movement over Sunday night into Monday, going into Tuesday, like this might be what we need. So we didn't get any trades earlier on in the morning. So 9:30, 9 o'clock, usually where we want to trade. We didn't get any trades at that point in time. But we got plenty, plenty of trades thereafter. So if you look at that, you'll see, if you look at 10 o'clock, you'll see the market kind of actually goes back up a little bit. We got our first trading opportunity here at about 12:05. That was a break-even trade. I wasn't too, happy about it, but I wasn't too sad. I was like, okay, we can continue. And then here comes the onslaught of like, what, 5 trades straight that we lost. So first trade ended up being a loser of 26.75 pips. I'm just trying to follow the confluences. I'm trying not to overtrade too, but at the same time, in my head, I don't know what is considered for me as overtrading. So I need to figure that out because this day is definitely a good one. But 26.75, this is a good reason to figure out that why or when, excuse me, when am I overtrading? But either way, 26.75 there. Very next trade came about 15 minutes later. If it the confluences, this is not me, just throwing in trades, but if it the confluences, same thing here, 33 pips, boom. And then we had another trading opportunity, 20.75 pips here, boom. And then we move forward onto the 10th. Now saying, go ahead. Then we move on to 1336 here for this trade. So I thought that was going to be the last trade of the day. I actually put here stop trading for the day. And then we took one more heinous opportunity to trade because it fit the confluences. The only bad thing about it was the stop loss was so big, but I was like, you know what? Maybe it's going to continue moving. Maybe this is the exact trade that we needed because of some fact that, we didn't have any other opportunities. And no, it wasn't. So when looking at the statement, basically you have here the beginning of the day, you have all the trades and stuff like that or whatever. You have the commission that it costs, so 1740, and then you have more trades basically showing you what happened and the profit and loss. There's $495 on that day on the 10th, and $496, excuse me, I think I said 95, $496.50 that we end up losing. And then of course with the commission added into that, so 1740, we end up losing a total of 513.90. So we start off the day with $3,168.98. We end out the day with 2,655.08. So yeah, I really do think I overtraded quite a bit, like quite a bit. So moving on from there, I was like, all right, cool, didn't drop. Let's see what happens, because even after this trade, you can still see that the price kind of came back up and it just teetered off a little bit, but it didn't really do anything for the rest of the day. Moving on to over the night, we had a bit more movement. Actually, the slight movement that I was looking for earlier, in the day on Tuesday. But then I think this is core PCE. What was on Wednesday? Or core CPI. We had core CPI. Boom. It shoots the market, but it doesn't know which way it wants to go. It actually comes back up, which I thought was really good. And then we had our first trading opportunity here and got smacked in the face at about 10:28. So this is on the 11th. Then we had a break-even trade, which gave me a whole lot of hope. That trade opportunity, it was pretty decent, but to be honest with you, usually once my trades go into drawdown, it doesn't matter when it happens, but once it goes into drawdown, and that's at like 60 to 75% of the stop loss drawdown, I usually don't tend to win these trades. Sometimes they'll break even, but most of the time they end up actually being losers. So you can actually see that in this next trade here. We got into another opportunity, boom, it came up, it went about 60 to 75% to the stop loss, and then it came back down. Now this was an opportunity for me to actually get my ass out of here. We didn't take that. I decided to just stick with the trade, and as you can see, it went up against us. So first trade was 41 pips. We actually let that go a little bit past what we want. I usually don't like to make a stop loss higher than 40 pips, but it was 41, so I was like, okay, we'll take that. 33 pips here, another trade, 27 pips here, and then the same exact shit that happened on Tuesday also happened on Wednesday. Had this really big candle, to me, I feel like, which was very stupid of me, but at the same time, it's very enticing, right? And then we only let it go back to 40 pips, got knocked out immediately on that one, and as you can see, the market decided to actually come back up instead of what it did on Tuesday, which was slightly teeter off just a little bit. So yeah, that was the trading day on the 11th, and this is the statement. So a lot less trades on the 11th. Well, not a lot, but less trades on the 11th. We still ended up losing $566.50. So we started off the day at 2,655. We end up losing 566 in trades and 17.40 in commissions, which equaled out to 583.90, and that ended our day off at $2,071.18. So that's where we currently are with the account. For the rest of the week, I didn't take any after pretty much losing. I think it was like $1,090 or something like that, something close to that. I was like, yeah, I think I'm good. And then this day was like a continuation day. It was actually pretty ugly. And then this day we would have actually lost again. I would have made it 71 pips. It would have been 40, but we still would have lost. So both of those would have been pretty ugly ass days either way. So I don't know. We ended out pretty bad this week, but at the same time, still live to trade another day. I'm going to have to go back down to one contract according to the money that I have in the account. I won't be able to trade two, so I'll have to switch it back to one contract instead of two contracts. But that's also to me a teaching lesson. Maybe I wasn't ready to go to two contracts yet, even though I felt like, oh yeah, I'm winning. So doing a little bit of work on myself just to make sure that I want to write down what I feel comfortable with losing, when I'm using two contracts or three contracts or four contracts. So I kind of created an Excel spreadsheet to say like, all right, at this number, this is the minimum you have to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever contracts, up to I think about 50. I wrote that out on an Excel spreadsheet. And then the second thing was just making sure that I'm trading with my confluences, just only the confluences, because we technically didn't have to lose on Wednesday. I was missing one of the most important confluences, which is the crosses of my HMA here, and I decided to go ahead and just trade the bounces as a continuation of to the downside. And I feel like that was stupid of me because yeah, we would have lost this day. That would have been what, the $495, $96 day that we would have lost, but we didn't have to lose 1,000. So definitely my fault. But either way, like I said, learning opportunity. I'm not mad at it. We'll see what the market gives us. Looking at the 4 hour time frame and stuff like that or whatever, it is continuing to the downside. And then looking at my POIs, we do have 1, 2, and so 1, 2, and then a really far third POI down there. So we'll see what kind of happens. I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you. I don't want to talk to y'all too much to death. I mean, excuse me. But yeah, y'all have a good day. Hopefully y'all had a better trading week than me. It was rough. It was rough and a learning lesson. But have a good weekend. All right, y'all. Thanks. Peace.